Okay, we really need to catch up in math, so let's try to get some math done. Please write at the top of your paper, Supplemental Math number 1. So Supplemental Math 1, and also please write your name on your paper just to be sure it ends up in the right file on the computer. Now we're going to write 1, and you can go ahead and number. Let's take a look here. We're going to scroll down. And we've got, you can write down 1 to 10 because we're just going to write a multiple choice letter next to it. So let's do number 1 together. -6 times +4. Negative times a positive is a negative. So what is 6 times 4? 6 times 4 is going to be 24. And we said a negative times a positive is a negative. So if you chose -24, you chose right. Okay, number 2. Negative times a positive is a negative. So it can't be A and it can't be C. It either has to be B or D because your answer is a negative. What is 3 times 4? If you don't know what 3 times 4 is, please stop the video that you're watching, go into your telephone and figure out what 3 times 4 is. Meanwhile, don't forget this. Negative times positive equals negative. So it's one of these two. Okay, let's take a look at this. 7 times 10. You know 7 times 10 is 70. But is it a positive 70 or a negative 70? We have to figure that out. Well, let's look. A negative times a positive is a negative. Negative times positive, negative. Okay, number 4, let's try number 4, and you do the multiplication part, 4 times 6. But let's look at this. Negative times positive equals negative. So it can be this one, it can be this one, or it can be this one. Can't be B because B is not negative, and we know our answer is negative. Okay, so hopefully you wrote a letter down. So I just want to review and make sure that you're understanding how to do this right. Number 1, -6 times +4 is -24. So you should have wrote a D next to number 1. Number 2, negative times positive is negative. 3 times 4 is 12. So you should also have a D next to number 2. Number 3, a negative times a positive is a negative, and we said it was 70. So 3 should have a letter C. Number 4, we said 4 times 6 is 24, and it would have a negative. So A is -24. So again, you should have on your paper number 1, D, number 2, D, number 3, C, number 4, A. Now let's go back, let's go and see if you can figure out these by yourself. So right now you're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now here's the only problem. You want to be sure not to put down the wrong thing. So we're doing 5 right here. Negative times a positive is a negative, so it's one of those two. Write down the letter you think it is, 9 times 6. Okay, let's go to number 6. Positive times a negative is a negative, so it's either one of these or it's this. What is 4 times 5? One of these or this? Because it has to have the negative. So that's number 5. Put it next to number 5. 6. Put number 6. Okay, let's look at 7. Go to number 7. Negative times positive is a negative. 3 times 8. These are all negatives, but which one of them is 3 times 8? Let's look at number 8. Positive times negative is negative. So it could be this one, or this one. It has to be one of these ones with a negative. What's 9 times 7? What is 9 times 7? Okay, let's go to number 9. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not going to give you these answers, but let's see what you can do. A positive times a negative is a negative. So notice all of our answers have been negative so far. So 4 times 10, make sure it has its negative. Now we have a switch. We don't have a negative times a positive. There's no positives. They're both negative. So this is a totally new one. Negative times negative is equal to positive. So this is our first time that our answer is going to be positive. So A and C are wrong. It has to be B or D. 4 times 9 is 20, or 4 times 9 is 36. Put your letter down. Okay, now we're going to work on some division. And we are going to do 4 more problems, and I'm going to let you be done. So 12 divided by 2. That means that you would take 12 and you'd make 2 piles of 12. What would you get? Number 11 would be B, 6. You could put 6 in each pile. Now let's look at number 12. 9 divided by 1. If you put 9 into one pile, you'd have 9 in the pile. But this is a negative, this is a positive, so negative, positive, negative. So, what would this have to be? If this one's positive and this one's negative, the other one also has to be negative. So that should be 12, should be C. Okay, let's see if you can do the last 2 by yourself, 13 and 14. 36 divided by negative 9. If this is a negative, then we're doing divide now, not multiplying, but we're doing dividing. So what times what gave you that 36? Negative, and then it has to be another negative. Can 9 go into 36 5 times, 4 times, or 2 times? The other thing you could do is put in your calculator or on your computer 36, divide sign, negative 9. Okay, just take a guess there. And then I'd like you to do number 14 by yourself, and you're done. And you're going to do negative 35 divided by negative 5. So this answer would have to be a positive. So what? You put this in your calculator, negative 35 divide sign negative 5. What do you get? Or put it in your computer and get, or your telephone, get one of these answers. Okay, and then that should be it. You have a letter for all these. Take a picture of it and send it to me. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to you taking a picture and sending that to me so that we can get our first math graded. All right, talk to you soon. Good job. Call me. Bye. Don't forget, take that picture and send it to me.